Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here with another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 video, and this time we're going to be getting Supreme Kai of Time, and of course, her attacks as well for custom characters. Now, I know in some regions the tournament isn't actually available, but sometimes when you log into the game, it'll tell you there's a new event in progress, and you check on the map, and if it looks like something going on in the tournament, you can see it there on the icon. Yeah, you just go there, alright? You just fly over there. There's usually something new in the tournament. So when you go there, you have to actually speak to the receptionist as if you're going to a normal tournament. And instead, you'll get, like, you know, a cutscene of Trunks and Supreme Kai of Time saying, hey, maybe we should do that tournament that we kind of referenced. What was it? Was it at the end of Xenoverse 1 or the end of Xenoverse 2? I don't know. I remember them talking about a Content City tournament like ages ago in Xenoverse. So either way, they're actually following through with that, and I didn't think they would do it like this. They did it in a pretty cool way, to be fair. But these are basically parallel quests, and you'll see what I mean after you get further into the story. Because the first thing you'll do when you start up this new adventure on this tournament bracket is to fight in the preliminaries. Now that's just fighting 6 AI, you know, easy peasy lemon squeezy. At least they're not like Oob and Goku where they just tag team you endlessly to death. They're not that bad, so you should be able to handle this one easily. The next one would be Goten, Trunks, and Trunks, because Xeno Trunks decides to fight after Goten loses, and Goten fights after Kid Trunks loses. So there you go. That one's also simple. You'll see the relevance of why I'm naming these as I go on, because the match after that will be your mentor. Now, I don't think it's always going to be your mentor, depending on who you pick, because my mentor is Goku, and I ended up fighting Majube instead. And what I would recommend is don't make your mentor Goku when you're doing this, because Majube is very strong. Not that he's like impossible to beat, but his health value scales way too high, because Majube as a character himself has a lot of health. And his Super Soul just increases his defense and his other stats, the lower his health gets. So the fight actually gets harder the longer you do it, and it doesn't even... It's silly. I'd recommend putting on a mentor that's much easier to beat. Maybe a weak mentor. I hate saying weak mentors, but I don't know if people like Krillin or Yamcha would be selectable for this. If you can, then preferably select them. I know as another test, like my brother, when he got to that point, his mentor was Cooler, so all you have to do is fight Cooler. And Cooler looks infinitely easier to fight in Majube, so just don't make your mentor Goku. That's all I can recommend. It doesn't even matter anyways, because after that battle, you have to fight Goku. It's in a different mission. It's not all in the same mission. That would be scary. It's in a different mission. You have to fight Goku after Majube, and he starts off in base, and then he goes into Super Saiyan, then God, then Blue, then Kaioken. And all of the forms are not too bad. I'd suggest the only forms that are kind of evil are any of the forms that have Warp Kamehameha. I don't know what's with the AI and Warp Kamehameha. When they use it, I just have an impossible time getting around it. But when anyone else uses it, it's like, oh, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. But when the AI uses it, I just get destroyed so hard. So watch out for those forms. Also, Kaioken Goku's defense is really, really high to basic attack, but it seems like it's almost non-existent to supers. So the second he becomes Kaioken Goku, just immediately try and hit him with a super. That should end that fight immediately. The match after that is to face off against your Legend Patroller or Ace. I don't know. It's whoever you made your mentor when you started up the game, whether it be your Xenoverse 1 character or anyone else. I hope you didn't make any of the World Tournament players, because they're just all cheaters, or whatever. That's not important. You have to fight that character at the end of the tournament. And interestingly enough, when I was fighting my original character from Xenoverse 1, he actually used Super Vegeta as a transformation, which, you know, that's in Xenoverse 1, so that makes sense. But when my brother was playing and he was fighting his Xenoverse 1 character, it was a Frieza who went golden. So I think different transformations will occur differently depending on which race you pick. So I don't know if the Namekian mentor will go Giants. That's the most absurd one I can think of. Margin's going pure form. It's literally just swapping the character models to Kid Buu, so who cares? But do you have to fight Giant Namekian in the tournament? That would be sick. I've not seen a Giant Namekian AI to my knowledge. So someone let me know if that's actually the case. Either way, after you're done beating up your mentor or Ace or whoever the heck it is, Supreme Kai of Time will take over and reveal herself to be the true final fighter. And you can see all of her wonderful moves there and yada yada yada. And after you beat her, she's like, oh, congratulations. And she gives you art. Now, here's probably where most people stopped. After you get the art and you beat Supreme Kai of Time, you have to do the entire tournament again. And I'm not joking. Do the entire tournament again. It's going to be the exact same. If to my knowledge, nothing will change. It's the exact same. Do it again, because that'd be your second entry into the tournament. And after you beat the Supreme Kai of Time a second time after rerunning the entire tournament, then you unlock the Supreme Kai of Time. I swear to God, it's not a glitch. That's just the way they intended it to be. And the third time, oh, let me guess, Steed, I have to go through the tournament again. Well, I mean, yes, but also no. Because now the tournament stages are like parallel quests. You can pick whichever one you want to do, and different ones have different, you know, moves to unlock, as well as different artworks and super souls and yada 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 yada. You could see them on the screen now. Easy peasy. Yeah, okay, cool. So do them in any order you want. Now I'm gonna personally say, when I was recording for getting these moves, the RNG was really gross. I think I recorded for maybe 3 hours and 40, 3 hours and 30, 3 hours or 40. Yeah, 3 hours to 3 hours and 30 minutes or 3 hours and 40 minutes between then. That's how long it took for me to get all of the moves. That's just how bad my RNG was. My brother's RNG looked infinitely better already though, because he was playing for like less than 40 minutes and he already got like one of the ultimates and one of the supers. So, I don't know, it's completely RNG based, just like a regular parallel quest. But to be fair, I did literally ask her this like 3 videos ago. I was like, oh damn, I was hoping for a parallel quest, even if the RNG is bad, you know. I would have liked something a bit more dramatic. Hey, it's worth it. And I don't mean that it's just worth it to have the moves as parallel quest unlockables for the sensation of, oh look, I worked hard and I got the thing. But the moves themselves are actually also worth it. Now, the least worth it one I can say is probably, was it Chaos Cannon? I don't know. It's some orb move that surrounds you. Not that it's bad, but it's basically just a key stun, except there's lots of them. That doesn't mean that the move sucks. That's not the part that's garbage about it. It's just the only move that gets disabled when you get hit. So you basically have to fire off the second you know, activate it, which is whatever. But the other moves are way better. I'll go into them slowly now before we move on to the move list set, because I think all of her moves are good. I genuinely think all of them are good. And her both her ultimates are super cool. But the first one I'm going to have a bit of a weird time explaining, because it stops time, and I don't know if you can build damage when the time is frozen or not. So I'm going to have to do a bit more experimenting with that off camera. The first of Supreme Curve Time's unlockable moves is Holy Inscription. I believe this one's a strike. I think it's one of the 2 swords. It's really, really good. You basically need to make all the other ones better. And I do mean better. I mean better. Because the other ones are already good. I think the other ones are so good that you don't need Holy Inscription. I can genuinely say that. But if you just want more bang, then just put it on and just go around slapping some cheeks up. Because Holy Inscription is actually a melee super. You use 2 sword kind of things to attack enemies. I think you can attack them up to 4 times. I don't know. From what I know, it uses up 2 bars of ki basically. It uses 1 bar of ki to activate it, and the second bar to use up the other 3 attacks. But if you connect all 3 attacks, then the sword actually gets it takes energy from attacking your enemy and can use it to power up her other moves. And she has like 4 other moves. So like that's kind of good if you catch my cold. So you probably want to get Holy Inscription regardless. If you want to get all of her moves, or if you're like, oh, I only want 1 move because I think this one is cool, it doesn't matter, all right? Get Holy Inscription anyways. Because if you're going to be using her moves frequently, you might as well have a melee super that does a lot of damage and is very good to combo, because it's one of those weird ones that can like, you know, it's like God Fist. If you hit someone like further away with a knockback and then activate it, it can catch up to them and do some good damage. So you might as well get it anyways, because it'll power up the moves, and also it slashes waves, so it's got like extra range. It's kind of cheating, but you know, whatever. The second attack on the list is Kairos Cannon. That's what it's called. It's called Kairos Cannon. Oh my god. This one is the one I was talking about. It's basically just a key stun. And it's probably the only version of a key stun I'll accept, because it actually has a cost behind it. It's not just a free action that can never be beaten out by anything and has 0 consequences. So Kairos stun is a really, really fun move just for that. You can basically make up to 4 key blasts, and they just hover around you. Not hover around you, but they hover in place. And over time, they just shoot out like 1 by 1 to just stun your enemy. I'm not joking. They don't like do massive damage or do like insane knockback or anything. They just stun the enemy for a good amount of time when they hit. So, nice and cool. And you might think, oh, that one's pretty boring. Wait. If you press the button again after activating it, you can release all of them to chase the enemy at the same time and almost guarantee a stun. Alright, well, that sounds pretty good, Steve, but I don't know if it's truly the best. Okay, well, if you use the other move that I was talking about, the sword move, Holy Inscription, you can actually change the balls up to 8 rather than 4. And if you use Holy Inscription a second time, you can make up to 12 key blasts. So you can have 12 key blasts that are all made with the intention of stunning. Imagine if you could shoot someone with 12 key stuns at the same time, or let's say someone from the distance is key stunning your enemy 12 times while you're fighting them. That just sounds like an objectively good option to have. I don't know why you would turn it down. It just sounds really good to me. Because, yeah, you stun the enemy. And if you just, you know, release all of the 12 of them at the same time, that's almost a guaranteed hit. And even if it doesn't, like, you know, stun the enemy, or maybe you somehow don't make it on time, it is good damage now that you have that many of them collected in one area. So that's a good super. Probably my personal favorite, and I do mean this one is like my personal favorite, is the Temporal Holy Ray. It's essentially, god damn it, it's essentially a timed turret. You put it down, and if you just press it with no, you know, inputs or fanfare, it's basically just a beam super, like, you know, like Kamehameha and stuff. It's just a beam super. Its whole existence. It's just, hey, I need to use it at the end of the combo, so that way I can get more damage, you know, more bang for my buck. But if you actually charge up, then it has a clockwork kind of timer until it fires. Like, you can actually see if there's a timer on the thing before it shoots. And it actually keeps turning and adjusting to where the enemy is moving, meaning that just because you put it down doesn't mean it's just going to shoot brainlessly in that direction. It's going to actually follow the enemy. And you as the player, you'll hear when the clock goes off, it'll make a specific, like, tick-tock noise. And then you'll know, alright, it's going to shoot now. So, you know, this is the moment, this is time. And when it does shoot, not only does it do very good damage while tracking the enemy, it also stuns them. It doesn't knock them back, it stuns them. You know, like the aura slides forwards jab, that kind of stun. It stuns them good. So it's a very, really good move. I love it so much. Also, if you use Holy Inscription, you can make not just one of these, but 2 of these. If you use Holy Inscription again, you can make 3 of these. All on 3 different timers. You can adjust the timers to be the same. You can adjust them to go off at different times so your enemy can't predict when they'll go off. It's just a nightmare. And the best part about this move is that if you get hit, it doesn't just go away. It's not like, oh, well, the player got hit, so I guess I'm entirely invalidated because I expected you to be a perfectionist. It's like, no, the move stays around if you're getting hit. I don't know if it stays around if you get stamina broken. I know there's a few other Supreme Kai moves that don't stay around when you get stamina broken. But this one stays around when you're getting hit. So maybe, before the enemy stamina breaks you, one of the turrets goes off and stuns them. That's your combo now. So you want it. I'd get this if I were you. Then we have her evasive, which is Chaos Wave. Chaos Wave is, it's an evasive. I don't really have to talk about it, alright? It knocks the enemy back and she shoots a wall at you, or he, because you're going to put on your custom character, who really cares. You shoot a wall at the enemy and it does damage. Now, in my opinion, this is an evasive that does a bit too much damage, but at the same time it costs 3 bars of stamina, so I guess that's fine because most of the ones people use now only cost 2. You can also charge up the evasive to make it do more damage. When I used it, charged up, it did 1/4 of a health bar. If that sounds like a lot to you, that's probably because an evasive shouldn't be doing 1/4 of a health bar ever. But whatever. So if you want to get Chaos Wave, Chaos Wave, I don't know. If you want to get it, then get it. Now onto her 2 ultimates. I think I'll start off with the one I have a harder time understanding, which is the Time-Space Impact. It's a 5-bar ultimate. It's the one that they also showed, I believe, in the trailer, where she wraps you around with energy or something, and it freezes you, eventually hits you with a big ball. It's that one. The first part of the move just restricts the enemy's movement, and then you punish them with a powerful Ki Blast. And the first attack doesn't cause the enemy to, you know, go flying, meaning you can rack up massive damage, I guess. Now, here's the funny thing. I don't know what that means at all. Does that mean that, let's say hypothetically, you're playing in a 2v2 or 3v3. If I use Time-Space Impacts on an enemy, and then my teammate hits the enemy with a Kamehameha, will the enemy take all the damage and not move out of the Time-Space Impact and only be freed once my Ki Blast makes it up to them? I think that's what they mean, but it could just be a heavy mistranslation because, you know, these moves, their descriptions don't even fit in the goddamn box. So, I'm not joking. The descriptions of these moves don't fit in the box. So, good job, Bandai. I have to blame Bandai for this one because when we're doing, like, Xenoverse scan videos and, like, translation videos, we manage to fit the text in the box. So, I don't know how they don't. Whatever. Either way, standard Ki Blast. The first part sets up the combo, like, you know, Requiem of Destruction and all those other moves. And then the last part is the big damage. But apparently the middle part is a stun that might be a time stop. So hopefully you can use other moves to damage the enemy while they're stunned before the big blast gets to them. Who knows? On to the next move, which is Godly Chronos Canon. Now this one is the better one in my opinion. Not because it's like, oh, it's better because it does more damage. Time-Space Impact does way more damage, easily. But it's also a 5-bar move, so it's kind of cheating. So, Godly Chronos Cannon is actually a 3-bar move that generates 4 Ki Blasts around you. And you can actually shoot them one by one. And if you use Holy Inscription, they get more powerful. And you might go, alright, that's a bit of a weird description. But in gameplay, it looks a lot better than it sounds. It's basically an ultimate that you permanently have around you, that you can trigger whenever you feel like it. It's like, there's another ultimate it's reminding me of. Another ultimate where its effect had to be used kind of soon after you activated it. I'm not sure if I'm thinking about Fu's ultimate. It's probably Fu's ultimate I'm thinking about. Or Sword of Hope, because it's basically an attack ultimate. Yeah, I think I'm probably thinking about a combination of Fu's ultimate and Sword of Hope. Because when you activate Godly Chronos Cannon, your character will be surrounded by a halo. Finally, your character has a halo, and I'm not joking, they really do have a halo, because Supreme Kai Time has a halo when she uses it. Your character also has a halo. It's genuinely sick. Please just put it on. Your character has a halo, and the halo is basically an ammo counter for how many shots you have in the Chronos Cannon. And it doesn't disappear. To my knowledge, it only disappears when you get stamina broken. To be fair, that doesn't make sense, because if you're being stamina broken, you can't fire it anyways. So I don't know why it would go away. But to be fair, I don't think you should keep the Chronos Cannon if you got stamina broken without even firing it or using it. But yeah, whatever. And to my knowledge, it doesn't go away. It straight up stays with your character forever until you get stamina broken or until you use up all the shots. So that's pretty good. And it's got like beyond godly combo potential. That's what I'm gonna say. You're probably seeing some clips of it now. It's got cocaine combo potential. It's really the bomb. So I think I'm pretty much done wrapping up all of her moves and talking about them. I'm sorry that went on for really goddamn long. I tried to keep these short as possible. Not just so you guys can, you know, go, oh, okay, short, simple, good. Yeah, awesome. Now let me go get it. But also so I don't have to do more editing. Alright? Not that I hate editing, but editing, I find it more enjoyable when I'm trying to make something that's like, oh, haha, funny, rather than, hey guys, look at this informative thing that I had to use my brain for. Because using my brain is very hard. Guys, I can't do that. I'm sorry. But either way, I think that is a good place to end the video. Again, beat the tournament twice. The first time, Supreme Kai Time was like, oh yeah, good job. And then you have to beat it again. And then she's like, oh yeah, good job. And then you have to do it a third time after you beat it the second time. When you beat it the second time, the game will tell you, you're not Supreme Kai Time. So keep an eye out for that, please. And then the third time, you do the missions. They're now parallel quests. And you get the things. Now, there are Super Souls there, but none of them really piqued my interest. There's not really any ones that you would see being spammed online either. Maybe some would be super good in a team battle because of all the different Super Souls that buff your allies, but nothing there that I would go, oh yeah, you need to get these Super Souls. It's all for the super attacks. So again, I think that's a good place to end the video, guys. If you did the video, then please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It's greatly support the channel. And leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see next. Love you all. Hope you enjoyed. And good luck hunting your super attacks. Take care. Peace.